They watched in silence as his designer suit was torn in front of 200 Seattle's elite. His boyfriend's mother slapped him across the face while cameras rolled. The crowd laughed as 3 million people witnessed his humiliation live. Then his billionaire father's helicopter landed on the hotel roof and their laughter died forever. Before we begin, if you love stories about courage, love, and justice winning against hate, hit that subscribe button for heart stories right now. Trust me, what happens next will leave you speechless. My name is Dylan, and I need to tell you about the night that changed everything. But first, you need to understand who I really am. I'm the only son of Michael Mitchell, the tech mogul who built Mitch Tech Industries from a Portland garage into a $12 billion empire. Forbes calls him the king of cloud computing. Growing up, I had everything money could buy: private tutors, European summers, a garage full of supercars I never drove. But here's what I didn't have: real love, genuine friendship, people who saw Dylan the person instead of Mitchell the inheritance. By the time I turned 27, I was exhausted. Every guy who approached me wanted something: a connection to Silicon Valley, seed funding for their startup, or just the lifestyle upgrade. So I made a decision my father thought was insane. I walked away from it all. Well, not completely, but I started living like a normal person. I rented a modest apartment in Portland's Pearl District, took a job as a software engineer at a small startup, drove a used Honda Civic. I told everyone my last name was Cooper, not Mitchell, for 3 years. I lived quietly, authentically, and honestly, I was happier than I'd ever been. No bodyguards, no photographers, just me figuring out who I was without the weight of billions defining my worth. I could finally explore my identity as a gay man without tabloids tracking my every move. Then I met Connor at a tech meetup in Pioneer Courthouse Square. It was raining, because of course it was Portland, and he was struggling with a coding problem. I helped him debug a particularly nasty algorithm. He bought me coffee to say thank you. We talked for hours about everything except money. Connor Hayes was a regional manager at a Seattle real estate firm, charming, intelligent, ambitious, and he had absolutely no idea who I really was. Over the next 10 months, we fell in love, or at least I thought we did. Connor knew me as Dylan Cooper, a freelance developer who preferred hiking to helicopters and food trucks to five-star restaurants. He never questioned why I wasn't interested in expensive vacations or designer clothes. He thought I was just down to earth. Perfect. He called me. His family, he assured me, would love me. That should have been my first warning sign about what was coming. The truth is, love makes you vulnerable in ways that money never can. When you've spent years wondering if anyone could love the real you, you become willing to test that love in dangerous ways. Sometimes the tests we create reveal truths we're not prepared to handle. Growing up gay in a billionaire family meant living with constant scrutiny. Every friendship was analyzed, every relationship questioned. I remember being 16, coming out to my father in his glass-walled office overlooking the Columbia River. He didn't reject me, but his first words were about image management and privacy agreements. Love, in my world, always came with conditions and contracts. That's why Connor felt like a miracle. He loved my terrible jokes about JavaScript frameworks. He held my hand walking through Powell's books without checking if anyone was watching. He made me feel normal in the best possible way. But normal people don't test relationships at billionaire galas in cheap clothing. Normal people don't risk humiliation to prove authenticity. Then again, normal people never wonder if love is real or a calculated transaction. 3 weeks later, Connor came to my Pearl District apartment buzzing with nervous energy. His mother, Victoria, was hosting the family's annual charity gala at Seattle's Fairmont Olympic Hotel. It was a massive event, he explained, with politicians, business leaders, and old Seattle-y money. The kind of gathering where deals worth millions happened over champagne and carefully worded conversations. Connor wanted me there to meet his family officially. I said yes, but made a choice that would change everything. I would attend as Dylan Cooper, not Mitchell Ayer. This would be the ultimate test of their character and Connor's love. Thomas, My father's longtime assistant, who had known me since childhood, tried talking me out of it when I called him for advice. Thomas was one of the few people in my life who knew both versions of me. He was also gay, though he navigated his career in corporate America by being incredibly private about his personal life. Thomas had watched me struggle with authenticity versus safety for years. His voice was worried when he spoke. "Dylan," he said carefully, "some people reveal their worst nature when they think they have power over others. Are you prepared for that possibility?" I smiled, though he couldn't see it through the phone. "That's exactly why I need to do this. Thomas, if they can't accept me at my most vulnerable, they don't deserve me at my strongest." He sighed deeply. "Your father doesn't know about Connor yet. Does he know? And let's keep it that way for now." The night of the gala, I stood in my modest bedroom trying to decide what to wear. I chose a simple black suit from Men's Warehouse. Nothing fancy, but well-tailored enough to be appropriate. No designer labels, no custom-made anything. I looked at myself in the mirror and barely recognized the man staring back. He looked ordinary, approachable, exactly what I intended. Connor picked me up looking stunning in what was clearly a very expensive tuxedo. When he saw my outfit, something flickered across his face. Disappointment, maybe concern, but he recovered quickly and told me I looked great. During the drive to Seattle, he filled the silence with nervous chatter about his family. His mother, Victoria, was particular about social etiquette. He warned. She had strong opinions about appearances and appropriate behavior. His sister, Brittany, could be sharp-tongued, but was really sweet underneath. His uncle Marcus was traditional but fair-minded. All of these descriptions should have been warning signs. But love has a way of making us optimistic about red flags. We pulled up to the Fairmont Olympic Hotel as valets in crisp uniforms opened car doors for guests stepping out of Bentleys and Ferraris. The hotel's grand facade was lit with elegant lighting, and well-dressed couples walked through the marble lobby toward the ballroom. I had stayed at the Fairmont many times before, but never as Dylan Cooper. The ballroom was breathtaking. Crystal chandeliers cast warm light over silk-draped walls, and tables covered in pristine white linens held elaborate floral centerpieces. There were easily 300 people there, all wearing clothes that cost more than most people's monthly salaries. The women glittered in designer gowns and precious jewelry, while the men wore tuxedos that fit like second skin. And then there was me, in my off-the-rack suit, standing out like a beacon of middle-class normalcy in a sea of inherited wealth and social privilege. The stares started immediately. Subtle at first, then more obvious as word spread that Connor Hayes had brought someone unexpected. Observing human behavior when people think they have social power reveals character. I was about to learn what Connor's family thought of people beneath their standing. Whispers followed us through the crowd. People wondered who I was, where I came from, whether Connor had completely lost his mind bringing someone so obviously ordinary to such an elite social event. Then I saw her. Victoria Hayes stood near the center of the ballroom like a queen holding court. She wore a stunning burgundy gown that probably cost more than most people's cars, and diamonds that caught the light from every angle. Her silver hair was perfectly styled, her makeup flawless, her posture radiating the kind of confidence that comes from generations of inherited privilege. When Victoria saw Connor approaching with me beside him, her expression shifted. The warm smile she had been wearing for other guests disappeared, replaced by something colder, more calculating. She studied me from head to toe, taking in my simple black suit, my understated appearance, my obvious lack of the luxury markers that defined her social circle. "Connor, darling," she said, kissing his cheek while never breaking eye contact with me. "And who is this?" Her tone made the word "this" sound like she was referring to something unpleasant she had discovered on her shoe. "Mom, this is Dylan, my boyfriend. Dylan, this is my mother, Victoria Hayes." I stepped forward and extended my hand with a genuine smile. "It's wonderful to finally meet you. Mrs. Hayes, Connor has told me so many amazing things about you." She looked at my outstretched hand like I was offering her something contaminated. She made no move to shake it. "Has he?" Her voice dripped with disdain. "How interesting. Connor, darling, Couldn't you have mentioned this was a formal event? He looks like he shopped at a discount store. The conversation around us began to quiet. People were starting to pay attention, sensing drama. I felt my face flush, but kept my composure. I knew this was formal. Mrs. Hayes, this is actually one of my favorite suits. I chose my words carefully, trying to remain polite despite the obvious insult. Victoria's eyes widened in what looked like genuine horror. Your favorite, she turned to Connor with obvious disgust. Where exactly did you find him before Connor could answer? His sister Brittany appeared beside us. At 24, she was beautiful in the way that money can buy, with perfect teeth, designer everything, and the kind of confidence that comes from never being told no. Her arrival felt like a coordinated attack. "Oh my God," Brittany said loudly, making sure her voice carried to the growing crowd of onlookers. "Connor, please tell me this is some kind of charity case you're helping for the evening. Please tell me you didn't actually bring a date who shops at thrift stores to Mother's Gala." People were definitely watching now. Some had their phones out, and I could see camera flashes. This was becoming entertainment for Seattle's elite, a public humiliation disguised as social interaction. Connor shifted uncomfortably beside me, but said nothing to defend me. "Brittany, stop," he said weakly. "Dylan is my boyfriend, and I think you should—" "You think I should what?" Victoria interrupted, her voice rising. "Should pretend this person belongs here? Should act like he's not obviously some gold digger who found my successful son and thought he'd won the lottery?" The words hit me like physical blows, each one carefully chosen to wound and diminish. But what hurt more than their cruelty was Connor's silence. He stood there doing nothing, saying nothing, just looking increasingly uncomfortable as his family tore me apart in front of hundreds of people. I looked at Connor, silently pleading with him to say something, anything, to defend me or stand up for what we had built together. But his eyes were fixed on the ground, and I realized with crushing clarity that I was completely alone in this moment. Sometimes people we love show their character when we need them most, and the revelation can devastate. Standing there, I felt alone. Their judgment pressed down. These people decided who I was instantly. Connor knew what would happen. The warnings about his family, how he looked at my outfit made sense. He brought me knowing they'd react this way with no real plan. The situation escalated quickly from there. Victoria stepped closer to me, close enough that I could smell her expensive French perfume and see the cold calculation in her eyes. She spoke loud enough for the growing crowd to hear every word. "Listen here, you pathetic little gold digger," she said, her voice dripping with contempt. "I know exactly what you are. You're nobody, nothing. Some poor boy who saw my successful son and thought you'd hit the jackpot. My son deserves someone from his world, someone with class, breeding, education, someone who belongs in our society. You're trash." That's when she slapped me. Hard. The sound cracked across the ballroom like a gunshot, silencing conversations and turning heads throughout the room. My cheek burned, my eyes watered. But what hurt more was the complete betrayal of human decency in front of hundreds of witnesses. The crowd gasped. Phones came out immediately, camera flashes going off like lightning. I could see someone had started a live stream on Instagram, and the viewer count was climbing rapidly. This wasn't just private humiliation anymore. This was becoming public entertainment for thousands of strangers. "Connor," I whispered, my voice breaking as I looked at him with desperate hope. "Say something. Do something. Defend me." He looked at the marble floor, unable or unwilling to meet my eyes. That silence spoke louder than any words could have. In that moment, I understood with devastating clarity that the man I thought loved me was choosing his family's approval over basic human decency. Then Brittany grabbed my suit jacket. "How dare you upset my mother," she shrieked, and yanked hard on the fabric. The sound of tearing cloth seemed impossibly loud in the suddenly quiet ballroom. My jacket ripped badly at the shoulder seam, and I instinctively grabbed at it, trying to hold the pieces together. The humiliation was complete. I stood there in a torn suit, my face red from the slap, tears streaming down my cheeks while hundreds of Seattle's elite watched and recorded my degradation. The live stream viewer count had climbed past 50,000 and was still rising. "Security," Victoria called out imperiously. "Remove this trash from my event immediately. These people don't belong here." Two security guards in black suits started walking toward me with grim determination. I looked at Connor one final time, silently pleading for him to show even a shred of the man I thought I knew. But he just stood there, shoulders hunched, staring at his expensive shoes. Something inside me shattered, but it wasn't defeat. It was crystalline clarity. I finally saw these people for exactly who they were underneath the designer clothes and polished manners. I saw Connor for who he really was when it mattered most. That's when we all heard it, the helicopter. At first, it was just a distant sound, like thunder rolling across the Seattle sky. Then it grew louder and louder, until the entire hotel began to vibrate slightly. The massive crystal chandeliers swayed, glasses rattled on tables, and conversations stopped as everyone looked up in confusion. "What on earth?" Victoria said, clearly annoyed that anything would interrupt my public destruction. The sound was deafening now. Through the ballroom's tall windows, we could see bright spotlights cutting through the darkness. A helicopter was landing on the Fairmont Olympics rooftop helipad, something that almost never happened during private events. The crowd murmured with confusion and curiosity. Who would arrive by helicopter at a charity gala? The live stream viewer count hit 100,000 as people shared the bizarre spectacle unfolding in real time. Then the ballroom doors opened, and everything changed. Sometimes justice arrives when you have given up hope, wearing expensive suits and carrying unconditional love. My father walked through those doors like an avenging angel, and everything was about to change forever in that ballroom. My father walked in, Michael Mitchell, 6'3", silver hair, commanding presence, wearing a suit that cost more than most annual salaries. Behind him, 4 bodyguards moved with precision. Everyone knew who he was. His face had been on magazine covers. He'd given keynote speeches worldwide and met with world leaders. The crowd parted as he walked through. Seattle's powerful people stammered, trying to greet him, but he ignored them. His eyes were locked on me. Someone whispered, "That's Michael Mitchell, the tech billionaire." The live stream viewer count exploded past 2 million as the drama spread worldwide. My father reached me and his expression softened. He wrapped his jacket around my shoulders, covering my torn suit. "Are you okay, son?" he asked quietly, his voice filled with love and concern. "Dad," I whispered through tears. "I'm sorry. I just needed to know if love could be real without money." "You have nothing to apologize for," he said firmly. Then he turned to Victoria Hayes. The color drained from her face. "You," my father said, "slapped my son." The room erupted in whispers. The live stream hit 3 million viewers worldwide. "Your son," Victoria stammered. "Mr. Mitchell, I had no idea." "You had no idea," he interrupted. "So you assault people when you think they're powerless, when you think they have no protection beyond your narrow social circle?" Kenneth rushed forward in panic. "Mr. Mitchell, please." My wife never intended. I watched the whole thing. "Kenneth," my father said, "your wife called my son trash. Your daughter attacked him, and 3 million people was watching live." Victoria fell to her knees. "Please, I didn't know who he was." I stepped forward, wiping tears. "I came here as Dylan Cooper, not Dylan Mitchell. Not as a billionaire's son, just as me, a regular person who wanted to see if I'd be accepted for who I am inside." I looked at Connor. "I wanted to know if you loved me, the real me. You stood there while they destroyed me. You said nothing when your mother slapped me. You were silent because you thought I was nobody." Connor fell to his knees. "Dylan, please. I didn't know who you were." "And there it is," I said. "You're not sorry they hurt me. You're sorry you lost access to a fortune." My father made a call on speaker. "Thomas, Withdraw all Mitchell Technology investments from Hayes Real Estate Corporation immediately. Contact our legal team and file assault charges as well. We have comprehensive video evidence and 3 million witnesses worldwide. Within hours, Hayes Real Estate filed for complete bankruptcy. Victoria and Kenneth's social standing in Seattle was utterly destroyed forever. Brittany lost all her influencer sponsorships and brand partnerships overnight. Connor was fired from his job the very next day. The story went viral across all social media platforms worldwide, sparking important conversations about classism, homophobia, and treating everyone with dignity regardless of their background. 6 months later, I was volunteering at a Portland LGBTQ youth center when I met Marcus Rodriguez, a passionate community organizer dedicated to helping young people find acceptance and belonging. Marcus treated everyone with identical kindness, whether they were homeless teenagers or wealthy donors. When he learned my true identity, absolutely nothing changed. We're building something authentic and meaningful based on shared values and genuine affection rather than financial status. Marcus shows me daily what authentic love actually looks like. It's brave enough to stand up for what's right when others choose silence. It sees the person behind the bank account. It never stays silent when someone tries to tear down people it cares about. If you believe everyone deserves respect regardless of background, subscribe to Heart Stories. What would you have done? Would you have revealed your identity sooner? Share your thoughts and remember, your worth comes from character, not wealth.